I want you to check yourself. I want you to compare yourself to this little Jewish girl, Hadassah. And I want you to look at her cousin, Mordecai. I want to give you some points here. 2,400 years ago, it was, and I want y'all to get this. Please get this. Now, again, if you only hear this politically, you're going to miss this. But if you hear it theologically, you're going to get this. It was the law of the land. Can I pause and share something with you just really, really quick? When I was with Frank Zanu on this past week, we had an incredible engagement of what he called intellectual discourse. His words, not mine. And we went back and forth, not in a horrible way, but just talking. And it was beautiful. It was incredible. And he said something to me about a show he had done. And I thought his position was, the laws. It doesn't matter what the laws are. It should be here. I said, no, I agree with you. I said, but what you can see, Frank, that laws do make a difference. And he got quiet. He's looking because he's a thinker. He said, well, that is interesting, Bishop Shines. I got to think about this. I said, you have time. 3 seconds. 2, 1, go. Because I need it quick. I need fast. We got to hurry, you know. And I said, let me tell you why I think laws really matter. I said, laws matter, not just because God gave us 600 in the Old Testament. Galatians tells us that laws actually teach people. And I began to quote scripture to him. I said, here's my concern. I said, if I'm a child, and the law of the land, and I made up some crazy story, the law of the land is to hate you because of the way you look. If I grew up thinking that these are the laws, guess what? I don't know my heart. Because Jesus said the heart is terribly wicked. And so the laws, please hear, Pastor, laws influence how you actually think. Even if you were not there when the laws were created, if you come and you become party to the law that has already been created, if a law says by law you are superior and another group is inferior, you will grow up thinking, well, it is on the books, it's legal, it must be true, I must be superior, you must be inferior. Why? Because the law has now impacted the way you think. That is why, hearing prophetically, that is why it is important that even the laws of our land have a Christian bent to it. Why? Because only Christ-type laws are fair and equal to everyone. I thought I would throw that in there. So 2,400 years ago, the law, the state policy was, under Haman's wickedness, we're going to set out to kill the Jews. I want you to see something. 2,400 years later,